You're listening to the Reluctant Adult Podcast. If you like what you're hearing, follow us on social media and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is the way.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million.
This week from the internet, Holey Turtle Texture Batman, Playmates 88 Remastered Ninja Turtles have collectors saying, Porous. Plus, move over, Street Sharks. There's only room for one retro anthropomorphic Turtles-knockoff action figure line in these parts. And the real April Fools is the friends we made along the way. NECA dares collectors to buy a life-size Mithrigan collectible. What could possibly go wrong? I bent my wookiee. It's the Reluctant Adult Podcast.
Don't you be a dummy! Buckle your safety belt! Think, Billy. It's morphin' time!
Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who knows the importance of moisturizing, Bill!
Hi, everyone. That's right. I like to make sure my pores are nicely moistened.
You don't want to end up looking like a Ninja Turtle.
Not one bit.
Not these turtles, anyways. So,
No.
We've been talking about these remastered turtles that we saw at some convention. There was a flyer for them.
Right. That was.
And we got a not perfectly crystal clear photo of them. So we've
at
sort
the
of
time
been
we were very
going-
excited.
Well, sure,
of that.
because
Yes.
we had been asking for such a product to exist,
Right.
and we're like, hey, you know, Mattel did it with He-Man. Playmates, get on the ball here. Seemed like they were going to do it, and they are doing it. They're calling them Remastered, 1988 Remastered.
Yes.
And we didn't know much more than that. So the powers that be, a.k.a. Pixel Dan, reached out to Playmates and was like, excuse me, sir.
He's got their
May
number
I
on
have-
speed dial.
May I please have some more information on the Ninja Turtles, please, sir? You may know me from Masters of the Universe. I also enjoy turtles.
I am writing a physical book, just so you're aware.
I am an author. You may know me from my book. I'm working on one for your Ninja Turtles. That's not even what he sounds like. I don't know why.
That's not right.
What
He
does-
probably was like, all right, it's comparison time.
Hi,
That's how he-
Playmates. It's
that's
me.
how he- Yeah. It's how he probably called them. He's like, guess who it is, everybody? It's me. It's comparison time.
Now, I know you're not used to hearing from me because I usually work with the other guys, but here's something you might not know about me. I love being a turtle. I think we nailed that. That's exactly what
We
he would
did.
sound like.
That
So anyways,
is-
Pixel Dan reached out to Playmates to be like, please give us some information. And he made a whole video. He hoped to had heard back from Playmates, and it did not happen. But it was like a week after this photo leak. And he's like, I can't wait any longer. The world needs to hear my official take, my pixel thoughts about these turtles. So he made that video. But since then, Playmates actually did send him the actual photo that was used in that advertisement. So we got to see the high-res version of the Turtles, the remastered Turtles. And the first thing that I think everybody noticed was how holy they are.
Yes, you're mightily porous, very
They
porous.
just seemed like kind of random, just like dot here, dot there. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really resemble an actual texture. It's just like when
Right.
you're playing with Play-Doh and you're just like, I just want lots of holes in here. I don't know.
Sure. It's almost like Playmates said to their designers, "We like our original turtles, but people really also like those movie turtles. So how do we
Yeah.
combine them both together
Right.
and then terrify people?"
Because it's like, Playmates just sort of missed the whole point of this. Like,
Yes.
we don't want them to be more realistic, which this doesn't accomplish anyways. Like,
No, it
this
does not.
turtles don't look like. This is not what turtles look like. They don't have
Right.
holes. They're very smooth. They almost look like collections of rocks because they're like dinosaurs. But they're not like a frog maybe would look like this, but not turtles.
Maybe
But we
Toad.
don't want the
Toad.
figures to look more realistic. We want the toys to be more articulate. We just want those original toys exactly, but to be able to move them in fun poses. Like,
Right.
that's what we wanted.
We don't need that bend in the knee that's pre-posed. We want to make it straight.
Right. We don't want them like as statues that you cut articulation into. We want these to have. We want basically what Mezco did. Like, essentially, Mezco, they really, in retrospect, people have like complete FOMO if they didn't get their hands on those, because
Oh, sure.
they just are able to be posed in so many ways. But we want those original turtles, those 88 turtles, the look of those, the coloring of those, but more articulate. So,
You think it's too late to stop this?
I mean, if anything, they could just do them again. They could just make them again. The people will
Better
buy
luck
them again.
next time. This is the
It's a
Slimer
work in
Bucket
progress.
2.0.
Looking at what did you say? The what 2.0?
I said the Slimer Bucket 2.0.
Oh my god, I still want to get to the bottom of that, because the real one, like the one that was advertised, never came out. Correct?
Right.
Yeah. So that doesn't even exist. I don't know, like, where they save it. Like, where'd that picture come from? Why does that photo exist?
AI generated.
It honestly,
Show
that's
me
probably,
the Cinemark Slimer popcorn bucket without the popcorn bucket, and then there it is.
There it is. If you look at the bases on these two, each base has like one slice of pepperoni pizza sculpted into it in the exact same spot. Like, I guess they reuse. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. They reused like the base, and then they added little bibs and bobs to make it seem like a different display
So, like,
base. But
is the slice just on the ground?
it's on the ground. Yeah.
What are they saying the turtles like eat pizza off the ground for? Come on.
And
Have
then
a little
there's
bit
like
more
little
sense than that.
a red and blue wire, and a little, like, the front has this little copper wire thing. So they're like, the bases are exactly the same, but they added little extra things. I don't care about the bases. I don't want the bases. I want the turtles, and I want them to look like. And then the other thing is, what is the packaging going to look like? This base is probably going to like be totally distracting, because maybe other people disagree, but I want this to look like the original packaging, but update the drawings or something. Like, I don't know. I don't want it to be like all new packaging. Like, that, there's no fun in that.
It's gonna come in a box. It's gonna be like those.
Got a box
What
now.
what was that series? That Star Wars series? Remember that Star Wars series where they were all pre-posed? It was like an anniversary set. It was like a 20th anniversary set where they had two figures in like a dynamic pose, Han and Chewbacca.
Yes.
And they had Leia and Luke doing the grappling. Those maybe they'll do it like that in a box.
Well, I don't want that either.
No,
So,
get rid of the stand. Give me the sprue.
Give me this. Exactly. See, here's where Super 7 honestly had a better handle on what collectors want. They didn't want to put enough articulation in it, because we know that Brian doesn't like that. He wants things to look like their original counterparts. And we're going to talk a lot more about Brian a little later, but let's finish up talking about these guys. We know the price, and the price is $12.99. Great. Very affordable.
We shouldn't be angry at that.
But nobody's angry. That's great. That's probably the best news we've heard about these.
Yeah.
They are a Walmart exclusive, however, so that's a little troubling. But if it's only these four figures and it's turtles, Hopefully they're gonna have a bunch of them. If you want them, if you still want them after all this.
Right. Everyone's gonna. Turtles are so popular right now. It's going to.
It's just
people are gonna be like, I'm gonna miss out. It's like you said. It's gonna be like that Mezco turtle thing. You just feel like I'm gonna miss out. Hopefully they'll make more. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, and then those ankles, the way they're cut, it just looks like that. Looks just like I wish they didn't even put it in if that's how it was gonna look, because it looks gross. It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
So these are kind of half-assed. I mean, you know, you got some like the arms are pretty well articulated. I guess the elbow will swivel in addition to having like the lateral bend, because they don't have shoulder balls, so they can't like move the bicep that way. So hopefully you can still get, although I don't see anybody actually doing that. So I don't know. Again, basically you could just take like the Mutant Mayhem figures and throw those classic heads on there, and you'd have almost the equivalent of this, because those are just the same bodies, or like not the same bodies, but the same like design.
Just have some fun with the Super 7 turtles. You know, they're
While
plussed
you
up,
can.
but you know what? They're
While
fun.
you can. Yeah.
While
I mean,
you
they're a
can.
lot of money. I think that was probably more than anything.
Sure.
That is you can get all 4 of the remastered turtles for one original price of the Super 7 turtles. Although those have been, I think at this point, all 4 turtles have been under 30 at some point somewhere.
Right.
You just gotta do your homework. You gotta keep an eye out. Follow Toy Sailboat on Facebook. I'll let you know when things are cheaper on Amazon and Entertainment Earth, at least. So yeah, we don't know anymore. We'll update you when we find out. We talked about Brian. Should we just get into the Super 7 stuff?
Yeah, why the heck not? It's big. It's big enough news. It was early news last week, but it's still big. It's not. Okay.
You know. So let's preface this. Let's put the disclaimer out. This is not news. This is rumor.
Okay.
Unsubstantiated.
There's always a little truth to some rumors.
Well, okay, but it's from an anonymous poster on Reddit. So right off the bat, nobody's like putting their name to this. They just want this information out there. But let's take a look at the facts that we do know. Super 7 did get a big influx of cash from third party. Okay.
Does that ever disclosed as to who
the party is?
Fronted
Yeah,
that money is?
I don't have that information off the top of my head, but I do believe, I don't think it's secret. I don't think you're allowed to do that. We just got some dark money, and now we're making toys. Yeah, no, another company gave them a lot of money. Okay. We do know that Super 7 is not making Disney product anymore after they could not come to terms. People were sort of splitting hairs on whether or not that license expired or was terminated, and I don't know if it like was for a certain amount of time and that time just eclipsed, or if it was ended early by one party or the other. I don't know that. But the fact that it was not renewed at the very least is still not great, because we know that there was another set of The Simpsons planned, and it's not happening now. So it's not like they're like, well, we made everything we wanted to. No. They wanted to make more, Super 7 did. So that's not happening.
They did.
So the story that we heard is that Brian, founder of this company, Super 7, will no longer have final say on what the products look like, per se. So let's dig into this a little bit. 4 series of The Simpsons, 0 versions of the main characters in their normal clothing. This was a Brian call. For whatever reason, he wanted it to be this way. I think 9, if you ask 10 people that know about this, if that was a good idea, 9 of them will say, no, it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
So the theory is now that there will be someone else to be like, well, hold up. Maybe we should throw a Homer in there. Maybe we should throw a Bart in their normal clothing. And maybe that's what we want. Maybe we want some double jointed elbows on our Ninja Turtles. Maybe the advancement of toy technology has come far enough that we should start including that in our product because other companies are doing it. Brian likes to keep that aesthetic as clean and as similar to the original toys as possible. So we weren't seeing a lot of that, but maybe, according to this anonymous Reddit poster, we'll start seeing that. The G.I. Joe figures are an interesting case because this week, this is actual news. The series, what series was it? 6, which was a set of repaints of all of the existing female characters, was canceled because it did not receive enough pre-orders. That is fact. That actually happened. Did you ever end up getting any of the G.I. Joe from Super 7?
No, because they're not in scale with the classified items.
Right.
So
no, there's no
point
thing.
to it. Yeah. They're more cartoon based, based off of the animation.
Well, right, exactly. They are based off the show. So, I don't know how those have sold. I feel like those are probably at the bottom of the totem pole. They seem to have the most QC issues.
They do.
And something that this poster on Reddit was saying was the lines that sell the worst end up at the worst factories. So you want to save, there's only so much output you can get from a factory. So you know which factories are going to do the best job. So you send your top performing lines there, like your Turtles. And I mean, Simpsons we didn't think did too well, but the last 2 sets have been amazing in terms of the quality of the figures. So maybe those ended up there too. So
go to the Bad Factory. That just sounds funny. It really does.
Joes go to the bad. They got to go to the Bad Factory. Yeah, there's only somebody's got to go to the Bad Factory. Who do you want?
So
who do you want to send
the
there?
Indiana Jones stuff back during the Crystal Skull days. It's
That's right. Those egg eyes. Yeah.
Egg eyes. Yes, you got egg eyes. Don't look into the sun, people. You'll get egg eyes. Real quick.
My God.
Ugh.
I'm concerned about us in the sun, but we'll talk about that in a second.
You spend a lot of time in the sun. You're okay.
I literally live in the Sunshine State, so
yeah,
they're sending the kids home early. Let's finish up with the Brian. Let's finish up with this first before we get too off topic. So there's no official word. There won't be. Brian's not going to make a post that says they don't like what I'm doing with my company, so I have to take a step back. We're not going to hear that. It'll be interesting to see if anything is very obviously different. Mm-hmm. And, hopefully, I mean, we've always talked about the weird decisions that he was making because it was the way that he wanted them to be, not necessarily what the, general populace wanted, the majority wanted.
It seemed like every line had some questionable direction to it.
Right. And then other people were saying that he didn't even care at the end of the day. He was somebody, quoted him as saying that no one else is making this, so people are going to buy it regardless. Yeah. And, again, we can't confirm this, but that's just what the sort of information that is being put out there. And that's not good. So I feel like maybe he should refute that because you don't want people thinking that that's true if it's not. So, Brian, if you would like to come on Reluctant Adult Conversations and, settle this, maybe we can get the Reddit shit poster to come on, too. We can have a debate. But, obviously, I love Super 7 because I love these Simpsons figures. But now they don't make them, so I guess I don't love Super 7. You took away the one thing I love.
Past appreciation of them.
I don't really care about the other stuff you make now at this point. Maybe if you do Office Ultimates, but so yeah, we'll see how that goes. If you're a fan of The Office, you might understand this. If you're not, you're gonna think I sound crazy. But I would just like to tell the world to please shut up about the sun. Shut up about the sun. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember when Gabe says that to Andy?
Yeah. Sure. Gabe was never my favorite.
Oh no,
did not like Gabe.
I love Gabe.
The addition of Gabe.
Oh, see, I disagree 100%. Gabe is a great character, and then that actor went on to Silicon Valley to be another. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but another great character. And he hasn't done a lot since, or at least things that I've watched. But I love that actor, at least for those 2 roles.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, so the sun. There's going to be an eclipse.
Yes, there is.
People are like, the way they're talking, it's like this is the first time this happened in 100 years.
Get
like,
your glasses if you can, people.
I remember a former president looking up at the sun, and we're like, we knew he would, and he's doing it. Like, it wasn't that
Right.
long ago that this happened.
You're too powerful for the sun. Hey, the sun's gonna shy away from him. That's right.
we all revolve around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I said that they're sending the kids home early from school. It's not they're not sending them home. They're not being mandated to leave, but they are being allowed to be picked up early if the parents
that's
wish
interesting.
to. And my wife has opted into that, so she's gonna pick because she doesn't trust our son to not look straight up in the
That's
sky.
hilarious. All right, so we got the exact opposite going on. We sent our kid a permission slip back because they're having a solar eclipse event out in the field where they're encouraged to stare at the sun.
But they have proper eye protection?
They do. So the whole school's gracious and donated protective eyewear to all the students.
What does that look like? Does it look like those 3D glasses that you just had on?
Yes, it does. It's just a piece of cardboard.
And you can just look straight? You could just look straight at the sun with those things?
I tried it today. It was great. It was just looking at it was like looking at the moon.
But I don't. Also, why is this something we need? Why would we even want to look at this? Why is this a problem?
Because it is such an event.
But what are you going to see? You're just going to see it black with a slight ring around it?
No,
Just
that's
watch
like
Heroes.
the whole thing.
Just watch the open to Heroes.
It's like watching it through your phone. That's what everyone who's sunphobic is encouraging people to do.
Sunphobic, Lord.
No, it's a big thing up here in the Northeast. North of me, at least, there's like several places that are getting like 100% totality. My sister's actually going up to Maine to see it because it's one of the areas where
wild.
it's guaranteed for 100% totality. I got my glasses like a month and a half ago because people were like, "You better get them now because the closer you get, the harder these things are going to get to find." And sure
Where'd you
enough,
get 'em? They're in a
I
cereal
got mine
box?
on Amazon. No, Amazon. Yeah, I pumped them out. I popped them out of the cereal box.
It just has like a pinhole.
Yeah,
That's how they did it back in the day.
Oh, right,
They
right.
put
Do you remember
they
making
put
those?
a cardboard box on their head and they looked at it.
Yes.
That's how they would do it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No. But yeah, no, everybody on the local Facebook pages are like, "Where can I find them?" And everyone's like, "They're gone. They're all gone. You can't find them."
God, if it's not fucking masks or toilet paper.
No. So now I'm seeing too much.
Sunglasses.
I was on TikTok too long. Now I'm just seeing all sorts of stuff about crazy eclipse theories and the rapture and everything else like that. The end of days.
Oh my God! If seriously, like, if it's gonna end, just end. All right, I'm so sick of this. The Mayans are like, it's ending now. It's like, well, it didn't end. All right.
Oh yeah, he had a whole John Cusack movie about that, and it didn't end.
I'm watching Three Body Problem, and it's all about this other world that's ending. So they're coming here, and it's all about the Three Body Problem. If you haven't watched this yet, the chances that you've watched it are pretty good. It's very popular on Netflix.
Okay.
3 suns, I think, celestial bodies, when they get close enough to each other, the planet can sort of ping pong between them, get pulled in from their gravitational field, and then the suns can align, so it gets too hot, everything burns up. Like this is like this is the technical term 3 body problems where I'm losing you. You don't. It's not the show is not very. I mean, it is sciencey, and the scientists play a big part of it. But it's about aliens. So
You don't even like Star Trek. How can you like this? What?
I do wonder. I say this. I wonder if I watched it, if I would like Star Trek. But it just seems.
I don't
so
think you
boring
would
to
at
me
this
as a
point.
I don't
think you would at this point.
You know what? I did go to see one of the movies in theaters, and I literally fell asleep during it.
Oh,
So I tried.
you tried.
I tried.
You
and it
made
did
an
not-
attempt.
Not for me. Not for me. So that's a big event that's happening this week. A big event that happened last week was April Fools. And I feel like everybody participated this year. Unlike,
we had fun.
yeah, I feel like the last
it's-
few years, people have not really been partaking just because
Right.
I don't think that like collectively we could handle it. But this year,
That's true. Like, yeah, I agree with you
get it
100%. They were like,
Yeah.
just so you're aware, there will be no
Right.
fooling about on this first day of April.
Yeah, we didn't-
From several companies, they're like, no, everything's too dark. We don't need any lightheartedness right now. But yes,
Well,
you're
it's
right.
like-
This year,
people were just willing, like, because of so much crazy shit was happening. People were like, yeah, that's probably true. They probably are. That's probably happening. And they're like, that's it. I'll see you on the other side. You know, straw that broke the camel's back. Didn't want to be responsible. Like, it's like Pop-Tarts didn't want to be responsible for like people offing themselves because they were going to make
Pop-Tarts,
bacon Pop-Tarts or something.
You know what? They already shocked the world by devouring that Pop-Tart mascot.
I'm
all
surprised
right?
they didn't try to capitalize on that. I wonder if they're waiting for the next moment. But I feel like that should have been like an ongoing thing.
Sure.
Because that was a big deal. And we all appreciated it too. Nobody was like, that's disgusting. We were like, I wonder what he tastes like. I wonder if he is different than the normal strawberry Pop-Tart. So anyways,
fair enough.
April 1st occurred this past week, and there were a bunch of, at least on the toy boards, and then like the general like nerddom sanctum. Right. Like somebody had pictures of X-Men on the set, and obviously that's not happening yet, so we didn't have that. Our friends from Tubbs, the rubber duckies, they introduced a Tubbs duck made of cake, which is not real, but it looked delicious. I actually was like, this would be a fun product. People like things made of cake. You could just make it out of vinyl and make it look like the inside is cake.
That's true.
NECA, they actually got me because they had two things, and one of them actually, I'm still not sure if it's real, but I think it is real because you can order it. But the first thing they had,
they got a whole page for that thing.
but they could just make that. But the first thing they had was they were going to do, was this a life-size version or just a line of collectibles based on Small Wonder?
Oh, okay. See, I had to look up what Small Wonder was because I wasn't.
Oh, you never
aware.
watched that?
I never
loved
watched
Small Wonder. Oh, that was a great show.
Okay.
That was a great show about this. So they
she's
had
a robot.
There was a family, and they had a robot, but she was a little girl.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like Family Matters, and instead of Urkel, it was just a robot little girl. It was kind of like Elf. I almost feel like the dad was the same actor. I'm not sure if that's true, but just like that time, you know, they were always like throwing in one weird character into the family dynamic. So that's what Small Wonder was. I had a great theme song. It's a small wonder. So that was not real.
In the song.
That was not real.
That wasn't real.
But NECA also announced a life-size Mithrigan from the movie Mithrigan. Right. And I was like, okay. And everybody in the post was like, okay, great. But no.
I sent it to you and I was duped, but then I was like, wait a minute. You were like, yeah, April Fool's. And I was like, no.
You sent it to me.
I'd forgotten.
You sent it to me being like, this is crazy. And I was like, oh, sweet summer child. Like, this is not real.
Right.
But I think it is real. I think for $500 or more, $5,000, how much is it?
I believe it's $500. Yeah, it's $4.99.
I mean, that doesn't seem like enough to have a life-size anything. Is it made out of like...
It's a mannequin. It's a mannequin. Like, you know.
I know, but still, like, how much does a mannequin cost?
Like $99.
Really? That seems like a good deal.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks terrible, right? Like, this face looks terrible.
It doesn't look like the actress. It looks like someone else.
I don't even know. That's why I'm like, I still don't believe this is happening. And also,
so what are they just?
I feel like if you order
now?
this, you're gonna end up in a list somewhere. Like, what are you gonna do with this?
What are you doing with your life-size girl doll? Yeah,
it's not like it's a Halloween prop where it like scares, like spooks you or something. It's
It's not like a life-size Chucky doll. Right?
Yeah, it's not your Chucky doll.
What are you doing?
People aren't gonna know what this is. No one's gonna be like, oh, is that Mithrigan? Like, no. They're going to be like, you have this little girl doll. That's weird. Don't like that.
Did your kids do any pranks, like, above,
they were
like,
unaware.
just like... Oh, okay. So my daughter was very much aware and actually started... This is a good one. She started to lose her voice a little bit for some reason, so she started talking a little raspy.
Red Rum.
So we're driving home, and I'm like, how should we trick Mom? And she goes, well, I don't know. And I go, let's do something with your voice. And I go, let's say one of your classmates karate chopped you in the throat.
Lord.
Because Mom's going to ask. Mom's going to ask.
I guess.
What happened to your voice? And sure enough, my daughter starts talking. Mm-hmm. My wife goes, what's wrong with your voice? And I go, yeah, tell Mom what happened.
Yeah.
And like my daughter was like, I'm glad she didn't say anything, because she would have been like, cracked up like as a joke. And I go, so and so karate chopped her in the neck during recess.
Oh,
and
no.
My wife's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Did anyone? How did you know? Did you get a phone call? How come we're just hearing about this?
How come?
How come?
Does she know? Did you let on ever?
No, we didn't. We let it go on for like 30 seconds, and then we were like, April Fools.
Haha.
You stupid mom. April Fools.
You were concerned about the well-being of your child, and now you look foolish.
How dare you? Yes, that was
Good
fun.
times. Good times.
That was fun.
All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about the big event this weekend, WrestleMania. But we will be right back after these messages. It's the Super Bowl of wrestling, or the Super Bowl is the WrestleMania of football, as some would say. But this weekend, it has become a 2-night event. Tonight, Saturday, the first night, the main event, Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins versus Roman Reigns and The Rock in a tag team match. And then that match has ramifications for tomorrow night's World or Universal, whatever they're calling the title now, between Cody and Roman. Will Cody finish the story? God, I hope so. God, man, if he doesn't, it's going to be a rough. I remember last year when he lost, and it was like, oh, I don't know if that was the right call, but we made it. We made it a whole nother year, and we're here. We're talking about wrestling. It was a big to-do. If you are involved in wrestling at all, you were probably in Philadelphia this week. We had lots of reveals. All the millions of companies making retro wrestling figures were there, showing off their prototypes. Mattel was there. I think their like actual event where they're going to have like the, the slides, the PowerPoint slides that people can't seem to figure out how to take a photo of. Those will be, that's Sunday. But they showed off stuff starting on Thursday. The most interesting thing that they showed was this series of Ninja Turtle inspired Elite figures. So these are made using the Elite bodies, so it's not like these are for kids necessarily. And they picked 4 wrestlers to represent the 4 Ninja Turtles. So they picked Kofi Kingston, Austin Creed, or what's his wrestling name? Xavier Woods. They picked, those are 2. I think Michelangelo and Donatello. Rey Mysterio is Raphael, and then Seth freaking Rollins is Leonardo. So you got to kind of see these to know what's going on. It's not like they're dressed. I mean, they're like wearing gear inspired by the colors of the turtles, I guess. It's very like, I don't know. It's a very just interesting, and it's not like these are like fantasy figures. These are happening. These are coming to Target this summer. So Target was like, yeah, this sounds like a great idea. But they're doing more than just the turtles. They're also doing Roman Reigns as Shredder, I guess. He's got like some big spiky shoulder pads, but it's not like he has a helmet or anything. And then Cody Rhodes as Casey Jones. So he's got the hockey mask, and it's painted up with his like American Nightmare colors and stuff. And yeah, so
wow.
As a not wrestling collector, but as a turtle collector, what do you think about these?
I'm about as excited for these as I was when they were dressed up like the Ghostbusters a couple of years ago. So not excited at all.
The wrestlers or the turtles?
The wrestlers.
Okay. But these are turtles. Yeah. You like turtles.
I don't give a
Oh, but
shit.
you like Ghostbusters too. I mean, it is
my impassioned speech. I don't care.
It's
my money going back in my wallet.
You save some bucks there. I wonder how much they're going to cost, because Elites
all the
cost
dollar
like
bucks.
25.
Ugh.
I don't know. We'll see how these do. But Playmates did Ninja Turtles dressed as wrestlers. They did a few series, at least 2. And those were sort of like the time where it's like, what is the point? Like, these just exist in their own world. It was very strange. So at least these are like your standard wrestling figure, and they're just wearing wrestling gear that kind of looks like something you would create in the video game.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly
right.
like,
yeah,
I almost
none of it
if that's
looks
how they
like
design them.
I mean, you were talking. You sent me a photo, and I was like, "Let's get those turtle shells on them from the."
Oh, that's right.
Jujitsu figures.
So again, we are always like right there with decisions being made in toys. Because last week I showed off my CM Punk wearing his Gujitsu turtle shell, and then the very next week, what do we see with official wrestling turtle figures? So. We were right there. There was something else that happened recently. Oh, we were talking about the party wagon. And people were like, hey, you were just talking about this. Oh, and we were talking about the dinosaur figures from NECA. And then people were like, hey, you were just talking about this. It's like, yeah.
What will we talk about next?
What you really got to tune in every week to see.
It's going to be ultimate office figures. That's where we're going.
You know what? Yeah.
That's going to be Super 7's saving grace, is that it's going to be ultimate office figures.
And they're just going to do generic versions of Michael, Jim, and Dwight.
They've got to do it.
And that's it. And then maybe they'll come with enough accessories to make it into like a secondary figure.
Get those out first, and then you win me over, and then I'll start. Maybe I'll start getting some variants. Maybe.
Super 7 has it all backwards. It's like they do the convention exclusive. That's like the normal figure. Right. Like, no, the convention exclusive is supposed to be the one that's a deep cut that the fans really want, not that the general public would care about.
They're gonna give me
Toby
missing his head from the Michael Scarn movie. That's what I get.
No, Toby. Yeah, they did that as a reaction figure. Yeah.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The reaction again. Those reactions, they can pump those out like nothing. Yeah. Holy shit! What the?
It's the earthquake.
Oh, the earthquake. Did you feel that? Did that affect you?
Yeah, we felt an aftershock. I personally did not, but other people around me did. So I guess I'm just earthquake proof. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
But looking around the collection room, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. So everything stayed upright.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had something fall over behind me. That like figure right there. I don't know how that happened. I didn't feel an earthquake. Didn't. I think that would probably be the end of Florida if we started having earthquakes.
Yeah, you just sink
the
into
sand
the ocean.
would rise up. Yeah, I know. It wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much.
No.
So the big news this week that got everyone upset. There's always some news that makes people mad, and this week it was that Marvel has cast another character in their Fantastic Four movie. And it is the Silver Surfer, and the Silver Surfer is cast as a woman. What?
Now this isn't like new news. This is like, it had been rumored prior to this that there had been some information leaked here and there that we would be seeing a female version of the Silver Surfer before we saw the male version of Silver Surfer.
The good version. We don't want to jump right into the one that people want. Like, we're going to give you this. We'll give you a taste, because it's like we're not really sure what this is going to look like on film, the silver person. So we don't want to fuck it up if this is what we're going
good
with.
Idea already what the silver person looks like on film. It's already happened once.
Well, I know, but that was many years ago, and that was different. It was a different time. Maybe Marvel's going to do it. Maybe Marvel's going to do it in practical. And they're just going to paint her up.
I sent you that video the other day of all the cosplayers in their X-Men attire, and you know what? Bless them. They do great. They look fantastic for what they are. But I feel like having seen, and we went back to this last week, watching X-Men '97. Yeah. And seeing it animated and seeing, what we would expect, and then to take that and put it into a reality-based thing with live action, it would just look hokey. It would look fake.
There's just no way to do it. We are not open.
My brain's
enough.
not ready for it.
It's just we're not willing to accept that because we don't. Yeah. If we see people like this is the best example we have. We see people in cosplay. There's not like, oh, if the military made these outfits, they would look better. No,
right.
This is it. This is as good as it's gonna get, and it still just looks like people running around pretending to be superheroes. So it's not ever gonna work. So I think
I can appreciate those early X-Men movie costumes because those were at least
the leather. Yeah,
the leather. Right, I appreciate.
They were afraid, and they've gotten. We need to make Hollywood afraid again. We can't have these costumes that look too much like the comic. It's taken me out of it. It's not working.
It has, and it's so much so that a lot of shows jokingly put them in, like the what is it? The WandaVision had the comic versions as Halloween costumes,
and we're like Halloween costumes, yeah.
Oh no!
I know it looks bad. So Julia Garner, we know her as Ruth from Ozarks. We know her from
the Nespresso spokesperson now.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, she's.
Where do you even
one of the
see
spokespersons
commercials
for Nespresso? YouTube. We'll put an ad in here and there.
Gotta get those ad blockers. Can't do that.
Oh, that'd be nice. But then how will I know that she's a spokesperson for Nespresso?
You'll listen to this podcast and
that's right.
The alternate version.
I'm just doing the research here. It's just one more talking point about this.
There's something else she was in
through
recently on Netflix. The Assistant, is that it? She had like
that
an accent.
Sounds accurate.
Yeah.
Okay. Like she had an accent in the last thing she was in too. Yeah. Did she make it through in Ozark? I didn't finish it because.
No, she didn't. She got real close.
Oh no.
Though. Only the family makes it out.
Oh, no kidding.
That was kind of the point of the show, where it's like the rich, privileged white family ends up okay.
Oh,
everybody else dies.
Well, now, if you just told me, I would have been like, oh, okay, but yeah, okay.
I mean, she had to die. There's no
I
version
feel partially
of that
spoiled now.
where she survived. Like, what would she be doing? What would she do? What was she gonna do? Was she gonna leave the Ozarks? Was she gonna survive in the Ozarks? No, she had to go. That was how that.
Oh, now I'll have to watch the rest of this.
It was very good.
Son of a gun.
It was a very good show. Ozarks, very good.
It was decent.
I hope I didn't ruin it for anybody. You gotta check it out, even if you know that. The family's okay. Everyone else dies. Spoiler alert.
Okay, thank goodness.
So along with there being Silver Surfer, obviously that sort of the Silver Surfer goes hand in hand with Galactus. So then that rumor sort of started to swirl this week that Galactus was going to be the villain. But then they're talking about this being an alternate universe, not the 616. But then they're saying like maybe they'll destroy 616, and then that allows them to restart like all the characters, like Iron Man and Captain America go back to like being alive. And I'm just like, I don't know.
Wait, does this no longer take place in the 60s either? Was that something I saw too?
No, I think that probably is correct because
that is confirmed.
The magazine. It's not, nothing is confirmed. This could all be fake. So we haven't actually seen them in cost. Like we saw a drawing of them. Like this is gonna all be an April Fool's joke. Who knows?
My goodness!
But this I feel like is gonna reset everything, and it's either gonna be good or it's gonna be bad, and then we don't have to think about it anymore because it's all gonna go up in flames. So and we'll have the DC universe. I'm sure that'll be great. Can't wait to see another Superman movie. There's one thing I love. It's a good Superman movie.
Yeah, at least X-Men 97's renewed for a second season.
At least I think no, second season's done. Third season
it's done.
It got renewed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So
never mind.
What did you think about this week's episode? For the first time, this is only episode 4, right?
Right.
So like a little bit of a side adventure. Gave the spotlight to Jubilee.
It was a split episode. So
but I feel like the stuff with Storm was very quick at the end.
It was. And
Forge. We found out Forge is not super great.
I don't think he ever was super great. But no, I appreciated the Mojo stuff. I liked how he was drawing his energy from people's viewing, and like viewership was down in like the TV realm, so he was investing in video games.
Right.
To do that.
Did he always sound like that? That is not how I envisioned him sounding.
I think it was a little bit of a tweak.
Okay. Because I was like,
In
this
the
is
voice.
this is not what I thought this dude would sound like.
Is a little bit more animated, in my opinion. But
Some
like
nice-
a lot of fun seeing the video game cutscenes,
Right.
the 16-bit stuff, the arcade cabinet stuff.
That was great. Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
Some nice Easter eggs. I'm just looking at this Collider article. The what's the other group with Havoc?
X
Like-
Factor.
X
Or is that
Factor.
X-Force?
Yeah.
X Factor.
Multiple man. I don't know. That big guy.
Yeah.
What's the big guy's name? The little swirl.
Strong guy.
Strong Wolfsbane. So we know some of the upcoming Marvel Legends figures, and they do sort of correspond, even though they're not X-Men 97 figures. I think Wolfsbane is one of the characters, and then what's the guy with the lion or whatever? What's his name? Zazar?
Kazar.
Kazar, is that it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's like from that Savage Land arc,
Right.
where Magneto and Rogue get it on. So we've sort of seen the inklings of that. So who's to say what we're gonna see from future episodes? But even though this didn't really have the punch of the previous episodes, you need one like this to kind of like give it a breather. Like it can't all be like super dramatic.
No, this was
And
a
I thought
lot.
this was
I mean,
fun.
this was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Going back to again all like the X-Men centric media that we had back in the 90s, and like what we were drawing from as youth to like enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Back
I'll
in
agree
my
with
day.
those. Back in my day. So that was fun. Looking forward to it's nice. I don't know how many episodes. Do we know the season count? Is it like 11?
I think it's 10. I think it's 10.
So we have 6 more to go. So another month and a half of episodes. That's nice. I like it.
It's exciting.
And then we'll see how quickly they turn on season 2.
I picked up the
Probably.
Goblin Queen figure. I found it at
Oh, you
Target.
found it? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said I need to get this, at least for the baby.
The baby, which that sculpt, this is like the 3rd iteration of that sculpt.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, man, I feel duped.
There was one that came with... Oh, originally I think it came with Mystique, the VHS Mystique.
Okay. Yep. Nope. That's ringing a bell. Yeah.
And it was baby Nightcrawler. Oh, no, it's slightly different. The head is different, so maybe just the blanket is reused. Because it's got like a pacifier, and it is clearly supposed to be Nightcrawler.
I have it in the trunk of my car. We went to Home Depot today to do the kids craft that we do the first of every month.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I popped
that's
the
always fun.
trunk.
Yeah.
Pop the trunk, and my wife's back there with me, and she goes, "Oh, look, you have an X-Men baby," and I'm like,
Oh, look.
"Get out of here, wife! Get out of here!
Stop peeking in my places, woman.
Get out of here! You're
Put
gonna
my-
wind up in the trunk."
Oh, you don't want to know my secrets. Don't look too deep. You might be afraid of what you find.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got Cyclops and Jean Grey. Someone was pointing out that Jean Grey doesn't have ab crunch, which I didn't even notice. And I don't think that I care or want.
I don't care. I mean, she
I
just
know,
had
I
a
don't-
baby. How is she supposed to have ab crunch?
Right, it's just accurate to the media. She would not be bending
Yes.
at the waist or at the below the pectoral. I don't even know like how
can't
you
do it.
Anatomically would illustrate
Can't
that.
do
but-
it. She'd be
can't
happy she
do it.
got into the costume in the first place.
I know, right? Really. Well, she's the well. Okay, so they keep changing the opening of the show,
Yeah.
adding in like the creature of the week, but also they changed her hairstyle, Jean Grey's hairstyle. So it's like the clone was in the first 3 episodes.
Oh, with
and
the
now
hair
it's
down? Or the hair
yeah,
up?
exactly. Yeah, now the hair's
Oh,
up.
interesting.
The
I didn't see
ponytail.
that
Yeah.
little bit. That's interesting.
Right?
Okay.
So the
Wow.
real Jean didn't have a baby, so she has no excuse.
Right.
Yeah.
No. But she's out.
So that's-
She's. I think the big thing is there's going to be a big event in Genosha for
Yes.
the series because
It's
those
joining
two are
NATO
off.
or something. I don't know.
the UN.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah.
What
But
did
I
I
think
say?
there's like an alter. You said NATO.
UN and NATO are different.
Yeah, they're different.
How so?
I think diplomatically they're different, and country
What is
involvement
NATO?
they're different.
Google, what is the difference between UN and NATO? NATO and the UN are two organizations trying to work together despite the fact that they have very different philosophies. Okay, I guess they're very different. Never mind.
There we go. That's
Never
it
mind.
for politics for the week. Back to toys.
I guess that is
everybody.
Back to toys. Nacelle had a hot off the heels of their very successful Kickstarter for The Expanse. They put out a photo of their next retro line. This time they're doing Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw.
Excited for this?
Was that a Kenner property? I was messing them all up a couple weeks ago.
I think so.
I said it was
I want to
Playmates
say
and I was wrong.
Mattel. I want to say Mattel. Let's find out. I'm going to type in Mattel.
No, because Emily from Hasbro was going through the archives.
And she saw Moo Mesa?
Yeah, I thought so.
But is that Kenner or Hasbro at that point?
That was Kenner, I thought. After she ignored my request to go as a podcast.
Yeah, what's the deal, Emily? You
Interviewee.
don't want to be on.
I don't know.
You
I'm
don't want to
done.
be on this very professional podcast where all the. Is this what is this I'm looking at? These are This is like unproduced Happy Meal toys for Moo Mesa or something. I don't know.
Oh.
I
Did you ever watch Cowboys of Moo Mesa?
No, I never did. It was
I
a
didn't
show.
either. It was a show.
So, you never watched it. I was gonna say, what is the?
No.
What's the story here? It's just an alternate universe where cows are anthropomorphic. Are other animals anthropomorphic? It's just cows, because that's pretty messed
Let's
up.
see. Cowboys of Moo Mesa, and Cowboys is
It's an acronym. What is it
It's an
stand for?
acronym. Yes.
What does it stand for?
I don't even know that.
Let's
Get
just look
onto
up the
that
Wikipedia.
Yes.
Green
Make
Man,
me read. God
animated.
damn it.
Plot of Cowboys dealt with a mutation of
Code of the
eradicated
West?
comets.
The cow part is short for Code of the West.
Everything trapped on top of Mesa was cowmatized by the light of the cowmet and evolved into
Dang it.
bovapomorphic. Who wrote this wiki?
Who wrote this?
They had too much fun. Get out of here.
Bovapomorphic?
Bovapomorphic.
And then so they all evolved into these. They all evolved into these, and then they took
Who
they
evolved
took
though? The cows or the people evolved into
surnames
cows?
that were all cow related. So wait, did people turn into cows, or was it something else?
Well, that's the thing. I don't understand. And then, like, did time go by, or like, are there dead bodies everywhere?
there was
They just moved
literally
on with their life.
there was literally a character in this cartoon named Calamity Kate Cudster. Now that was not
That's
her
a
human
lot.
name, if that's the case.
That is a
Lily
lot of
Bovine,
things.
Cody Calf. I just want to
Okay,
know
there
about
are
the toys.
a couple of characters. One looks like a vulture, so they're not all just cows.
Yeah.
So they're just animals, and they just happen to have a lot of cows. Oh, the females are like too human, too human-esque.
Yeah.
Like the only.
Oh,
made
they
the,
were
like-
released by. They were released by Hasbro. Okay, so Hasbro.
Oh, this guy's a scorpion.
these out.
The other guy's a scorpion. He's little.
Oh
That's
my
cute.
gosh.
That's
Oh,
adorable.
so
there's like
they were-
a comic, and there's a bat. Oh, and he's wearing a little like banker's outfit. These are great.
wow.
So Nacelle's making toys of these,
Yeah.
and we'll buy them or not. I did not have any of these toys. They look fine.
Neither
don't
did
know.
I.
They weren't exciting to me because I was probably like, "This is stupid."
Batman. Power Rangers. No, you moved on. That's what it is. You moved on.
They're cute though. I don't know.
Moved on.
I could see
You-
these.
you had
I
moved
I
on.
moved on. Yeah. Oh.
You
moved.
graduated from Bovine University at that point.
I hope the carding is throwback because the carding is pretty nice. Actually, I like that. That holds up. So we saw a picture of one of the characters. He's red.
What's that big red thing?
He's a big red guy. What's his name?
Yeah.
Sheriff Terrible. Terrible. Get it? All
Was
their
he a
names-
bad guy?
He's a sheriff. So I don't know.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know.
Is
Do you think if we got mutated that we would have enough self-awareness to make our names puns to whatever we were mutated to? Do you think we'd be okay with that?
What would you be mutated into?
I think it's like whatever you're around. It's like if, Splinter became a rat in one iteration of that.
What would you prefer to be? What would you prefer to be around?
Oh, like, what would I want to mutate into?
Like, what would your preferred animal be?
Oh, you know what? I was watching this video last night that my wife sent me of kangaroos.
Yeah.
Those things are terrifying.
They get jacked up.
Jesus Christ.
In your face,
so
yeah.
I think they really undersold that TMNT character that was a kangaroo. Like, he was way too small.
He was small, but he did have knee articulation.
That's true. He did have knee articulation.
That was Walkabout. Walkabout was his name.
And the way kangaroos move, they can hop obviously, but they can't walk. They have to use their front feet, so they become
right.
It's like someone said it looked like a jacked up deer, and like I could see it. The head is very deer.
That's the thing. It's funny. I just watched a TikTok where a deer ran across the road, and the kid literally goes, "Look at that kangaroo."
No,
so I guess a lot of people say it. No, honest to God, I'm gonna find it. It's on my TikTok history. I will find it. I'll send it to you. Look at that kangaroo.
Were they in Australia? Like, you just think there's kangaroos?
I don't think so. They were in the U.S. They're in the U.S. with deer.
The crazy thing about how, the world formed and animals evolved, like Australia was really separated from the rest of the continents, and animals just are different there. They're just different.
They are.
It's a whole other ecosystem. You got scary looking everything.
I feel like if I was to mutate, it would have to be preferably a shark or maybe an alligator. I think that would be. So
you want the water-based critters?
Yeah.
Well, I saw some alligators today, but they were babies because I was at SeaWorld. Nice.
Did you get to hold them?
No. I don't know if
you
that's...
ain't living there.
You can't... Listen, SeaWorld is not putting people anywhere near these animals anymore.
No, that's too bad.
They are phasing out animals. I don't know if you know this.
Oh, it's like the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, where it's just Ringling Brothers.
And it's like shadows
of people flying around.
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh, no.
Right. It's becoming Cirque du Soleil or whatever, how you pronounce that.
Oh.
Yeah. So SeaWorld's just becoming like roller coasters, which I do not care for those. So let's probably not go anymore. But the kids love it. My mom is a huge super fan of SeaWorld. When she's down, we always have to go. She has a photo from when she was younger of getting kissed by Shamu, which is not a thing that can happen anymore. Definitely not allowed anymore. So we were walking around today, and something that SeaWorld has that Disney does not really have are these carnival games, and Universal does.
Don't forget Dino World.
Well, but Dino World's going away, so I don't know.
Thank God.
I don't know if it's still operating or what they're doing there, but yeah. So there are some carnival games, but SeaWorld has carnival games, and I historically am pretty good at carnival games. If you recall, back in our youth, we went to Whalum Park, and the game where you have like the barrel or like the bin, and you have to throw the ball and keep it in.
Barrel. It was an apple barrel. Yep.
I won.
It's tilted.
I did.
You won. You won that big damn tiger.
Big damn white tiger. And it's so funny. The quality of the carnival prizes has not improved as time has gone on, because even though they're huge, they're filled with little styrofoam pelts, and they are not good as like stuffed animals at all. They're just the worst.
Could you imagine that thing exploding in your house?
Right. Yeah. Just like the fan blows it all around.
They all get like static electricity. They cling to everything.
Oh no.
It's terrifying. I didn't realize that thing was filled with those.
Yeah. So that we have one of because it sprung a leak. I won. I did the basketball game. Well, here's what happened. I did the basketball game, and I know that the basket is like squished, so you can't like throw it like a normal. You gotta get it straight down, or you gotta hit off the backboard. So I threw it. It bounced off the very back, went straight up, and went straight down without hitting the rim. First try, I won this giant. It was like giant dogs. So I let the kid pick his favorite dog. We started walking around, and like it was like snowing. All the little things were coming out. I was like, damn it. So thankfully, we were able to bring it back, and they were like, here's another one. So now we have it. It's over here to my right. I'll have some video up of it. It's very large. It was a real pain in the ass carrying it around the park. Not fun at all. But everyone was like, "Ooh, that's so big. Where'd you get that?" So I did feel like sort of a rock star for a little bit there.
You're like, I won that. It's a major award. You had your Christmas story. You had your Christmas story moment.
So I sent you a photo of it, and now you got the high. Now you got the gambling high. And I was like,
I thought
nah.
your kid won it too. I thought your kid won it.
No, he couldn't get that basketball over the thing. But I did the thing where you pay, so it's like $5 for one shot or $10 for three. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, let me give myself a fighting chance. So I did the three, but I got it in the first try. So I had like 2 leftover tries, and the lady's like, people can only win once per day, but you can let somebody else take your other chances. I was like, all right. So I let my wife do one, and she actually got pretty close. And then my son did it. He couldn't even get it over the thing. And I was like, all right.
Oh, no.
So then, I sent you a photo of that, and you're like, oh, now you have to chase that high. And I was like, nah. But then we saw people walking around with these giant bananas. And some of them had like a little husky dog sticking his head out. Like it was a husky dressed as a banana. And I was like, I need that. So we finally found it, and it was the game that I won the white tiger in, the apple barrel, and you got to throw it in. So I was like, I got this, no problem. So you have to get 2 in a row. So each game is 2 throws, and you have to get both. Wow. So first throw, I missed. I was like, damn it. So then the second throw was just for practice because it didn't count. So I did like the basketball throw, and it worked. And I was like, yes, I got this. No problem. But then I missed all the next ones. I missed every single one. It didn't work. I couldn't figure out exactly how far to push it. So I did another round. But the kid, he wants to try. And I'm like, do you want to win? Because there's no way you're doing this. But then like to my right, a family with a little girl did it. And the little girl did it. And she won. So I was like, all right, maybe there's a chance. So I let the kid throw it. He friggin' throws it as hard as he can and bounces right out. I was like, you do not understand how this game works. Like, you don't get it. So I bought 3. I let him try 2. And I'm like, let me do it. And, of course, I missed immediately. So no giant banana, but we did get the giant dog. So I feel like that was the better prize. Yeah.
That's good. Yes, no, I don't normally buy scratch tickets. For whatever reason, I was feeling lucky. I was feeling lucky tonight. I don't know why. So I got a Powerball because the jackpot is quite large.
$1 billion.
And I had put $20 in the machine.
Ooh.
And then I picked 5 tickets. And the first ticket, a nice little cheap $2 ticket, paid for everything. So I got my $20 back. I won 30 off of that one.
Ooh,
got my 20 back. Yeah. And then scratched the last one, $50. Yeah. I got $80 back. I was like, yeah, I'm up. I was up. I was happy.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, let's say you win the $1 billion.
Oh my.
Let's say you win the $1 billion. How much are you gonna give me?
Enough.
$1 million?
We'll get you back up here. I'll settle you. We'll build
I want
a
this on the record. I would give you $1 million.
I'd probably give you $1 million.
Because what is it? What is a billion? How many millions are in a billion? 1,000?
100 million.
No, because that's 100 million.
Yeah, 1,000 millions.
1,000 millions. You have 1,000 millions to give away, or to play with. I would give you $1 million.
Yeah, I'd probably.
But I would make it like its salary, so I could write it off on my taxes.
Yeah, I'd probably put it in a trust for you, so you could withdraw.
There you go. That's good. Yeah. No, I need it all immediately though. I need it all immediately. I just need it. I just need it yesterday. If you can make that happen. All right, it's on record now. That's very good.
That's good.
What else happened this week? I feel like there was more.
There's always more.
I was in a different area of the state for work, and I was like, oh, there's a Ross over here. I'm gonna check that out. And let's just say economically, not like the best area around. Like, is it clear what I'm saying? It's not.
Yeah. No,
not like lots of mansions in this area. Like a little bit below the poverty line.
You're getting
but
really
apparently
close to saying something.
apparently this is where you want to go if you're looking for stuff at stores, because Ross, Five Below, there was a DD's discount, which I'd never been before. I didn't think we had those. And there was an Ollie's. There was an Ollie's I'd never been to. And they were all stacked. They had tons of product.
Wow.
Yeah. From that Ross,
did you get anything?
I actually bought something. I don't know that I've seen these before, but there were these things called Apex Legends from Jax. And they're like Black Series, G.I. Joe, like those kind of figures, like Fortnite. But they were $3.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm gonna buy the whole friggin' set. So here's this person.
Apex Legends.
Like, I'm sure this is another video game that like didn't do well, but like there were like 5 figures. So 5 times 3 was that 15? So for less than the cost of like a real figure, I got a whole set, and they're like well articulated. I'm gonna open up and do a review because I want to be like, this is how you make your money go further.
Probably like, look at this guy has money for toys. Oh, we can't even buy food in these parts.
The well, I don't know why they have that accent, but the cashier was like, "Did you leave any for me?" And I was like, "There's a couple. There's not the full set, but they're for me now."
Did you leave any for me?
I know.
Why do people in retail insist on being that way? Like,
I mean, you're there all day. You got to think. I mean, there's only so many things you can say to customers without. What happened
today when we were doing the thing at Home Depot? I'm carrying the things out because they're covered in paint, and I've got them so the kids don't, because the kids like dress up, so they aren't thankfully in paint. I'm walking out. The Home Depot guy looks at me, looks at the kids, then looks at the art project. And he goes, "Next time, let them do it." Just like sick burn from him.
I know. It's like
got me so quickly. I was like, I know, right?
It's like the jokes about when the waiter comes and your food's all gone, and he's like, "How'd you like it?" It's like, "I hated it." Like the dad joke kind of thing. It's like, but that's like the extent of what you can say to customers without anyone being like. I'm sure someone was probably like, you sound like you were insulted by that. It's like that they can't even say anything to you. They can't say anything.
A lot of people can't say anything to me. No, I take it all the wrong way.
Yeah, I take it the wrong way. All right, I feel like that's good.
No, it was
anything else with this? Yeah. Anything else with this big week?
I can't think of anything.
That's enough. That's enough, right? It's enough. We had a big week last week. Big week this week. It's WrestleMania. I gotta hop on there and see if anybody's still fighting. All right, about it. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.